Hey, welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are joined now by our sports news partner who joins us from the Wisconsin Sports Network. We have Travis Wilson here, who is the general manager and also football writer, and we are going to talk some high school football. Welcome, Travis.
Thank you.
So let's start with a topic that has been heavily talked about here. Now, the recent months we've talked about competitive equity and the public-private debate. So for folks who maybe aren't familiar with what's going on with this, give us a little background here.
Sure. Really it's a topic we could devote 2 hours to, and we obviously won't today. But basically what it boils down to is when private schools joined the public schools in the WIAA back in 2000, since that time there's kind of been a lot of rumblings of people that think that the private schools have an inherent unfair advantage that, especially in the lower divisions, and it kind of came to a head this spring where a group of small schools in southwest Wisconsin advanced a petition that placed on the annual meeting agenda an initiative that would have applied a 1.65 multiplier to the enrollment of all private schools, basically bumping most of them up a division in most sports. To their credit, they voted instead of yes or no on that issue to send it to a committee for further study. And it has continued to be a topic of discussion over the summer and into the fall as well.
Wow, okay. And you mentioned that the competitive equity issue was talked about at the WIAA meetings this week. So was there anything new that we can take away from that meeting?
Yeah, well, there were several members of the committee there that gave presentations on where they're at in that process of finding a solution to the issue of competitive equity. They've kind of narrowed down their scope to 3 primary plans, if you will, and they gave presentations on those and just kind of provided more information on those. And the next step now is in October that committee will meet again, and maybe we'll find out at that time what their final presentation or final solution or plan will be, and we'll get a vote on it in April potentially.
Okay, wow. Well, we could talk to you about this for a couple hours. In the effort to get to some football stats and information, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about Reedsburg. So Reedsburg is off to a great start, and they had a wonderful week 3. So what have we sort of learned about Reedsburg so far? What do you see, your opinion?
Well, obviously they had a great game on the I-90 Bowl on CW 57 last week, a 49-27 win over DeForest. So far this year, we knew that their offense was going to be explosive. They had a number of outstanding returners there, but their defense has really been impressive as well. I think has been maybe a little bit of a surprise so far. Their front 7 especially is very strong and looking like a very strong contender in the Badger North that, as we talked about last week, is a very deep and talented conference for sure.
Absolutely. And speaking of the Badger Conference, there's a great matchup this week too, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, the Reedsburg-Monona Grove matchup is a non-conference crossover, but in the Badger North, we have Waunakee versus Mount Horeb-Barneveld. And Waunakee, they were down a little bit last year, but they look very good so far this season. Both Waunakee and Mount Horeb-Barneveld are undefeated. Mount Horeb got a win in week 1 over Monona Grove. That's going to be a great matchup. We're going to find out if Waunakee really is back to where they had been, and also if Mount Horeb-Barneveld is ready to compete for a conference title as well.
Okay, and let's move on. Let's talk about the Big 8 for a second. So we've got Middleton and we've got Madison, Follette that are unbeaten teams. So let's speak about this showdown a little bit. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, this is maybe a little bit of a surprise that both teams are undefeated at this point, but 2 outstanding teams. Madison Follette already has a win over Sun Prairie back in week 1, so if they are able to pick up a win over Middleton, they really are in the driver's seat the rest of the way towards a conference title. Middleton has a chance to get a big win, and this really should be a great matchup, a great showdown between teams right here in the Madison area.
Okay, very interesting. Now, on Wisconsin Sports, on your website, you actually have like an interactive tool that people can vote for who they deem the best players, some up-and-coming players. Do you get some good response from that? How into the high school football are people right now?
Yeah, it's really been one of the best features that has come out of our site. It's really neat to see the Team of the Week poll that we do and also the Air National Guard Player of the Week poll. We nominate 5 teams and 5 players each week, and fans can go on and vote for who they think should be the winner. It's really cool to see the response that you get from the communities. Emails go around the school, they go around the community and all the businesses. Hey, go here and vote. You see kids posting about it on Facebook and Twitter all the time. Come here and vote for us. It's really been a neat feature, really got great involvement. Last week, for instance, in the Team of the Week poll, we had over 8,500 votes cast in that poll alone. So it's really been a great feature, great way for people to interact with our site as well.
Wonderful. So you can go to wissports.net if you want to participate in that. Travis Wilson from Wisconsin Sports Network, always a pleasure. You know, we're going to have you back next week. We'll talk more high school football, so thank you.
You bet. Sounds good.
All right, stay right there. We're going to be back with more Talk of the Town after this.